on the verge of doing it. I guess there's still some, T's to cross and some I's to dot. But Branden Becker, Cajon High School shortstop, joining us now on the Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports Radio 1350 AM, and already rocking the Baltimore Orioles hat, selected in the 17th round by the O's. And Branden, what was that experience like, hearing your name called, or seeing it come across the computer, or however you found out, and knowing that you had a professional baseball career in front of you like that?
Oh, it was pretty amazing. I mean, it was funny because I wasn't the one to see my name on the computer. My dad was. I was getting disappointed, so I walked away. And then I hear my name, and my dad screamed my name, and then I get a phone call from the area scout that drafted me. And then, so it was a pretty surreal moment. Gave me a call, said they selected me, we'll get on agreeing terms the next day. So I just thanked them for the opportunity, and it was pretty funny, and my dad was the first one to see it. So it was funny, earlier in the, I think it was 15th round, they called Becker, and then it was a different Becker. I thought they were going to call me. So it was a mix-up. It was pretty funny.
So walk me through that process. Because the first day of the draft, it's just, was it the first and second round, or is it just the first round?
First, second round, complimentary round.
That's right, okay.
And then the next day is third round through 10. So after the first day, I got a lot of phone calls asking about the same price, where I would want to go, and all that. Then after the second day, I got tons of phone calls after the 10th round, agreeing, making sure all that. So teams wanted to get me early because I'm not asking for much or the price. So what they do is they want to sign the college guys early, give them a few $1,000s for college senior signees, so then they weigh heavily on the senior high school players,
high school kids,
and that's what the Orioles did.
So what's that like? Do you, okay, so your dad was watching the draft unfold online, right? I mean, so you said you had to walk away. I mean, do you stare at the computer and you're just like, okay, here's the next pick, here's the next pick? Or do you like, you know what, I'm going to go get a sandwich, I'm going to see what's on TV, I got to get my mind away from this?
Well, I was watching the draft because I had friends play with over summer, making sure to see where they would go, but the teams that were interested in me, that's where I was focusing on. So if they didn't pick, all right, I'm going to go relax, get my mind off the draft or whatever. But then I didn't even see the Orioles the next pick, and then I heard my name, and I was like, wow, I did it. I finally did it. My dream came true and all that. So,
were you getting a lot of love from Baltimore? Where you're like, man, I think the Orioles really like me, or were there some other teams that you thought, man, I think they're kind of like the front runners?
I definitely had all of them were the same 4 or 5 teams. I had the Cubs, the Blue Jays, the Mets, all of them showing really good interest. But then I didn't realize how heavily scouted I was by the Orioles when they came over, and how many times they told me they see me play, and I didn't even see them at the games and stuff. So it's definitely a blessing, and I'm glad I get to call myself a Baltimore Oriole.
So when you're scouted by all these major league clubs, do you know the scouts are at the game watching you? I mean, do you just go out there and play baseball and you're like, you know what, I'm not going to worry about who's in the stands or who's not in the stands. I'm just going to play my game, and if they like it, great.
Well, I don't really worry about them, but if you definitely see when I'm up to bat, you see a guy with a video camera. It's obviously someone. So definitely a lot of at bats this year. I've seen tons of guys just with video cameras videotaping me and my swing and all that. So definitely don't pinpoint who it is. I mean, there's familiar faces since I went to area codes and all that, so I kind of know a thing or two which organization it is, but I don't really focus on it. I focus on the season, and it led to a league title, so I wasn't really distracted this year.
So your name comes across the computer to the Orioles in the 17th round. Your dad freaks out. You call the scout, right, from the Orioles.
He called me.
He called you, okay.
Like 30 seconds after I got picked.
So what was that conversation like? Were you like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is really happening?
I just called him. I said I thanked him, and then he said he's really glad to have me, and that their scouting director, before they picked me, pulled up a video of me because they were thinking about I was between me or another guy. So they pulled up a video of me, last second video that the area scout took of me. I think it was against A.B. Miller. And then the guy said, all right, we got to get him. And they analyzed my swing, like, all right, we got to get him right now. So that's when they picked me, and he called me up, and he said it was funny. It was the last second thing. So,
man, it's crazy how it just unfolds so fast. They're like, who's available? Okay, let's look at their video real quick. Okay, let's just go for it. And it just unfolds so fast. We're talking with Branden Becker, shortstop from Cajon High School, here on the Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports Radio 1350 AM. And Branden, so what's next? I mean, do you have to go, take a physical, actually sign the papers with Baltimore? What's next for you?
Well, I fly out. I was supposed to fly out Sunday, but I asked them to push me back Tuesday so I could stay for the All-Star game and watch and stuff. So
you're not going to play? You're just going to hang out? Okay.
I'll probably hit just BP, and they won't let me play on their property now.
Yeah, but, I get that.
I fly out Tuesday to Sarasota, Florida. I'll get my physical, drug test. I passed both of those. I get my gear, suit up, and then they'll send me off from there, and I'm playing from Monday to Saturday. Sundays are off days, but I'll be playing for that till the end of August.
It's like nonstop, huh?
Yeah, I guess you could say it's a job, but it's not really a job. It's just
it's baseball.
Love.
It's fun.
Baseball.
Yeah.
It's our love. So that's what I wanted to do all my life, and I'm blessed to have this opportunity to do so.
Now, we talked about this before. That was always the dream, right? If you had the opportunity to go pro, got to go for it, right?
Yeah, and it's the best way. My family and I discuss. It's the best way for me to develop as a player and as a man of this game, and I think this is the best route I'm going to take, and I'm blessed.
Now, you got a Cajon shirt on, CBL Champs 2015. Got the Orioles hat. How quickly after you were drafted did you go to the local sports store and be like, "Hey, got any Orioles hats? Like, what do you have with you, Baltimore Orioles?"
My teammates, my best friends and brothers, all came over. They came over to the house and was like, "Hey, let's go to Lids. Let's get an Orioles hat right now." So they took me to Lids. They bought me a hat. I don't know why, but they bought me a hat, and they also bought themselves a hat. So it's not also a blessing for me, but it's a blessing for my teammates, I think, and my family and friends all around, because I guess you could say there's not a lot of people that get drafted at San Bernardino. I mean, you got Aaron Brooks still in AAA, made this big league call, but it's fun, and it's a blessing for all of us around here. So
I'm sure the University of Oregon was pretty sad, right?
Well, they saw him, but they texted me, and we're still on talking terms. You know, anything could happen still, so we're on agreeing terms. Even though I'm on agreeing terms with Orioles, something could happen. I could still end up at Oregon, but we're still on agreeing terms. They know what's best for me, and they're still talking to me, and they've always known I want to play pro ball. So
that's what's interesting about baseball. You know, you want to go after the best players, but you've also got to know that there's a good chance if they're drafted, they may never end up at your school in the first place, and I'm sure that happens more times than not.
Oh yeah, that's crazy. I mean, Oregon's had their fair share. They had a Demi Malay who went second round. He was committed to Oregon, but they know their business. They know they could lose us any day, and that's how the whole business part of the spectrum works with the scholarships and all that. If I sign and I play and the scholarship gets back to them, pretty sure they have another guy to give some more money to, or you know, it's just the whole business of college baseball is, and that's how it's always been these last few years.
So they like you at shortstop? They want to keep you there, or what have they said?
Yeah, I mean, I talked. Orioles signed our first rounder, Ryan Matt Castle. He's a 6'4" shortstop, but
oh wow. So
they said that they're going to probably give him a chance at shortstop, moving to center field, because he's a big kid with some bat speed. But Mark Ralston, the Orioles guy that drafted me, said they liked me at short, and they had their infield guru guy from the organization said that I could play shortstop in the bigs and stuff. So it's pretty cool. So I'll play anywhere. I told them I'll play anywhere, and I think that's why they like me. I could play second, short, third, put me anywhere to hit in the lineup. And that's
you hit left-handed too, right?
Yeah, they like my bat especially. That's what they said they like.
You got some pop in that bat.
Yeah, they said the projectability, I have a lot of projectability, and they said the most projectable thing is my bat. I can get a lot stronger and all that. So
is it fair to give yourself a timeline saying, you know what, how old are you? You're 18?
Yeah.
I'm 18 years old. By the time I'm 21, I want to be in the big leagues. I mean, is it fair to do that, or
not?
I mean, because there's a lot of guys in front of you, you know, in the minor league system. I mean, because it's really hard to really, you know, make an estimate like that.
So one thing, my brother was my assistant coach. One thing, he's been my backhand man. He told me that the Orioles don't have a lot of middle infield prospects, so I guess I'm blessed in a way to be that. But
great organization, the fast track, right?
Yeah. They call it the fast track, but I'm not no Mike Trout. I'm not going to be able to by 21, but I'm definitely just going to make my name out there and play as hard as I can, play the best of my ability, and we'll see what happens. You don't know what happens down the road. I'm just going to give it my all and hopefully get stronger, faster, and all that, and we'll see where things take off.
And this is all going to go down, what, in Florida, right? You're going to report to Florida and be there for, what, a couple months, I guess, right?
Yeah, I'll be there if I sign, get everything agreed on, I'll be down there till the end of August, then I'll be home for 3 or 4 weeks, then probably get sent back for instructionals for a month. Then I'll be home till spring training, and that's where I'll be home. I'll be training 24/7, keeping in touch with my friends, hanging out, being like an 18-year-old I am, you know.
Just a professional baseball player also.
Yeah.
All right, that's Cajon High School shortstop Branden Becker. He will be at the Inland Empire All-Star Game. Just taking a little BP, hanging out with the guys, kind of enjoying and soaking in, I guess, that last moment, right, before you head off and make it official with the Orioles.
Yeah.
All right, so Branden Becker, check him out Monday night. He'll be hanging around, maybe get an autograph, go out and get yourself an Orioles hat right now, and we'll follow your career, man. We'll stay in touch, and we'll bring you back on. Even if it's a phone call, we'll do it from the East Coast. We'll make it happen. So when we come back on the Inland Sports Show,